let's see. Withdraw 599. There we go. Now I get another Reviver Seed. I can store 2, do some requests. Oh no, wait. The other seeds got stored, didn't they? Good to know. I'll take that. Did I get some gummies at all? No, I didn't. Okay. Drop I. Immediate starting area will be dark, so sell that lookalike item. Because the drop I essentially causes blindness. Did you know bad seeds can make you go blind? Can't believe I could actually make a reference to that series, but okay, whatever. No, I want to sell the Pecha Scarf. I said sell the Pecha Scarf. Because poison resistance isn't that necessary. Especially since once you get to the next floor anyway, poison kind of just ticks out, so yeah. Not necessary. Oh. I love the music in this game. It's so nice to listen to. Right, I could gather a bunch of cash. And all things considered, the Northern isn't too bad. It's bad, but it's not too bad. At that, if I remember correctly, S-rank quests will give about 150 RP, so that'll help get us a little closer to ranking up. Yeah, true. Getting kicked out of a place, period, is sad. You're not wrong on that. To tell the truth, I was a little upset in Tales of Symphonia when you get kicked out of the main village in that game. Actually, come to think of it, you get kicked out of a couple different places in Symphonia. Another game I would like to do game clearing of at some point, but again, the next 2 or 3 are spoken for. Little spoiler on the itinerary for that. Once we finish everything that is going to be with Mystery Dungeon, we're going to be going into Secret of Mana for a bit. That by itself shouldn't be too long, because while I haven't cleared Secret of Mana, I do know its approximate length, and it shouldn't be longer than 2 or 3 months. 200 damage? Huh. But yeah, after that, it's going to be something that I plan to do every so often, which is a bit of a choice out of 3, out of like 2 or 3 different options. Specifically, the options will be Rock Tomb, seriously? Altoy? No. The options are going to be something horror, which will be 9 hours, 9 doors, 9 persons. Something ruinous, which will be La Mulana 2, since I have that now. And for the third option, something magical, which will be Tales of the Abyss. Regardless of what gets picked, we will get to all 3 of those games at some point, just on notice. But the selection will determine which we get to first. And I figure I would throw La Mulana up on there specifically because recently it did actually release DLC. I can't buy it, but there is a DLC that exists that's like $6 US. Adds, I believe, a new area, a few new boss fights. And if we were to do La Mulana 2, I would make it a absolute priority to get the DLC so I can cover that as soon as possible. Yeah, at the appropriate time, we will run a poll on Twitter. It will be up for a week. I'll make the appropriate messages in the appropriate places so that people can vote on it, and yeah. Ah. Oh, non-sleeper. Oh, good. I panicked for a moment. I forgot that's an ability I have now. Blame for something you have no control over. So let's assume it's a story reason, then. Okay, then. Sixth floor. And there's sand everywhere. It's coarse and irritating, and it's getting in my balls. Even though I'm pretty sure the only male here is Raptor. I can make many jokes. I refuse to. I just outright refuse to. Seventh floor. Toys. Baubles. Sand. Ah. And, Orphaned Cubone. Too early? I remember the anime. Do you? Where were you when the Cubone lost their parents? What? Why did I go to that bit? Okay, whatever me. Sandshrew. Adorable. That's an Aron. Hey, game, you know what'd be nice? If we could get, like, a secret spa at some point. Just a thought. You don't necessarily need a secret spa. Ah, that's a secret paw. I know about you, but Rhyhorn paws are kinda heavy. I don't think you want those across your face. Down, Larvitar. Let's assume that's a dead end. The general rule of thumb is with Mystery Dungeon type games, if a hallway looks like it's going to be snaking a lot, chances are it's going to lead to a dead end, specifically to waste your time. It's a fairly common pattern, all things considered. And I have a big apple. Might as well eat New York. Tastes like subway rail system. Ew. Hey, level up. Uh, did we pass the stairs at some point? We might have. Yes, we did, and I'm a dummy. You know, game, I was asking for something that was essentially tantamount to a trap tile. But I wasn't expecting you to dick me like this. Jerk. Okay, 9th floor. Let's at least set those. In an emergency situation, iron thorns are decent throwable. Provided you have clean line of sight on the enemy. Case in point. Toasty. Grimy food's also nice. Toasty. That's poison sting. Sit down. I want to pet the cactus, not the cactus thorns. Carnivine is toast. Enough Carnivine. I've seen enough Carnivine to last me for a decade. No. I believe it was like 11th through 14. We've got quite a trip ahead of us. Mag. Burn. Party members pulling in the work. Celia. Thank you. Back up a bit, then cross over. Those two should be able to take care of it. A drought orb. And destination floor. Actually, if anything... No, that's not great. For a moment, I thought, though, I was misconstruing it with the sunny orb, and no, that's not going to be helpful. Because the desert doesn't have any fluids. We're stuck in the desert, on a horse with no name. And for once, it felt good to not be in pain. Because, you know, we're in the desert. What? Thorns can miss? I'm learning new things about this game every day. Thorns can miss. I didn't think that was possible. Huh. I'm actually awestruck. Right, exit. Stairs. And that's the Pokemon that we're trying to find and rescue and do helpful things with. Wherefore art thou, Pokemon? I just want to give you huggles. Throw thorns at your face. 2 thorns. Ain't I a prick? Really? You know what? Chomp Steve. You got this, CS. Nice work, CS. Back up. There's the item. $12 and $15. So next floor. Now it's just a matter of finding the stairs. Where the heck are the stairs? Not here. Okay, I think I know where to go now. All the way back to where I started this hecking dungeon. Blah. There we go. On the bright side, we spawned in the floor with the stairs, so that saves us a little effort. This shouldn't be too bad. Celia, you could take care of that, right? Criminy. Remind me not to piss off the little one. She deals so much damage. Really? You're not within... Celia! I was trying to wait for the Carnivine to be in range! And now you just encourage it to go out of range. Thank you. I was about to step in, Celia. What were you doing? I understand that flailing is kind of your specialty. Actually, in some respects, it's also canon, but... Nice work. Fourteenth floor. Shoes. Pokemon apparel. What do Pokemon wear? Fashionable scarves, hats, maybe shoes? Hey, what do I look like to you? A worker of Gap? Pokemon Gap. Evidently, there's a Pokemon Gap, alright. Gap in my reasoning with Pokemon. Blarg. Sandshrew picked up some pocket change. Hope he buys something nice at the store. First off... No, I'm not getting bound. I'm not into that. Is someone talking? Well, other than me, no, not really. I don't think so. Unless you could somehow hear my sister, but even then, I doubt that. Considering she's passed several walls, a closed door, and her headphones. In some respect, I kind of do this normally. I'm a bit weird in the fact that I like to prattle sometimes, and if I feel like I'm being funny, then it just perpetuates itself into a loop. At that, a good chunk of my commentary style ends up being a bit similar to Nathaniel Hoover, aka Gemini Laser, which is partially mile a minute, partially self-deprecation, partially puns. Okay, maybe not the self-deprecation, that's more Tear of Grace, but even still. It just so happens to be how I talk as a person, and I figure practice this, get better at it, and it eventually became how I do my commentary. Sometimes it means I have a lot to talk about, sometimes it means I do a lot of snarking the game. Sometimes it just means nothing happens, which is a shame. But in essence, yes, essentially I'm talking to myself in some respect. And if you guys happen to enjoy my ramblings, then so be it, yay. It means I'm doing something right. I hope. Say, Casey, I wonder how Azelf and his friends are doing. You think maybe they're fighting Grovyle? I can't sleep when I think about that. But if you stop to think, this is all so very strange. I mean, Pokemon from the future? Something that extraordinary is really possible? That is true. It is hard to accept that Pokemon could come from the future. Come to think of it, this never crossed my mind. The world of the future where Dusknoir and Grovyle came from. Life's rough. Okay, enough super animals me. I think I have an addiction. Help. Send Banan. What is it like? Is the future like the present day? Is it a world at peace? It's another early day tomorrow. I should force myself to sleep. Night, Casey. Sweet dreams. Tomorrow? Let's do our best. I love this leitmotif. Ahem. About the attempt to capture Grovyle. We've yet to receive word that Grovyle's been captured. I understand you're all itching for something to happen, but consider this a test of your patience. Because we ask you to carry on with your usual work. When someone's missing? What's that siren? Deputy Magnemite's here. This is a message from Officer Magnezone. Additionally, we are here to talk to you about Social Security. We are here under the belief that your account may have been compromised. Shut up! We are pleased to deliver this report. Grovyle has finally been captured. At last. My gosh, Grovyle's been caught? I did it! There's more. Grovyle was captured by the Great Dusknoir. He has informed us that he will return to the future with Grovyle. Dusknoir is going home? To the future? How do you go back? I do not claim to understand the process, but I have heard they will be going through a tunnel. He called it a dimensional hole. He opened a dimensional hole in the town's main square, I am told. Dusknoir told us that he wishes to say goodbye before he leaves. Therefore, he hopes that you will come see him for the last time at Treasure Town Square. Hey. Oh, what are we doing here? Let's hurry. Now is the point of no return. At that, we're also at the end of the stream. So once we finish with the events with this, then yeah. Everyone's already here. Hey, I didn't see the Great Dusknoir around yet. What's that? This is a dimensional hole. I'll show you what else is a dimensional hole. Anyways. Oh, what Magnemite was trying to explain earlier. Golly, this is it. Isn't that something? So stepping inside here, this thing will take you to the future? Watch out. Stay clear. The instant you touch this, you will be sent to the future. Please be extremely careful. Ooh. Oh, Yuxi, Mesprit, and Azelf too. Saliana. Oh, you're alright. Am I glad to see that? Naturally. So how'd the plan succeed? Did the plan succeed? Yep. I have to hand it to the Great Dusknoir. It was flawless. Grovyle has been captured. And we regained all the time gears he stole. I'm so glad. Dusknoir should be along shortly. Who's that? The Great Dusknoir! Here comes the Great Dusknoir! Everyone, make way! The poor Grovyle. That's Grovyle? He looks like a bad guy, that's for sure. It's great they finally caught him. That's right. The world was nearly ruined because of him. Everyone, today I would like to share excellent news with you. Finally, Grovyle has been captured. This was all made possible by your selfless support and cooperation, and I can't thank you enough. As you can see, Grovyle is a vicious and wicked Pokemon. His capture should result in lasting peace for your world.
Looks like they have Grovyle muzzled. He can't say a word that way.
But I must also deliver a sad piece of news. It's time for me to return to the future. Everyone, I must now bid you farewell.
Oh, so that was true. Hey, I'm feeling the blues. There was so much I wanted to learn from you. Yup.
EoSky, Mispert, Azelf, I entrust you with the rest.
Yes, we know. We got the time gears back, and we will make sure they're returned to their rightful places.
The task is yours. Thank you very much for everything. You have literally saved us all. Oh no. You've been most kind and helpful. I hope you will continue to work to preserve the peace. Yes, you can depend on that. Now, I'm afraid the time has come. Everyone, though it pains me.
Uggy, I hate sad goodbyes. I hope we see you again. Dusknoir, sir!
Oh yes. Before I go, I must see two Pokemon. Celiana, Casey.
Us? Let's see what he wants. This is really goodbye, huh? Dusknoir, sir. For everything you've done, thank you. Sincerely.
Well, this is goodbye. Or is it?
Pardon?
It's too soon for farewells.
Ah!
You two are coming with me. Oh gosh!
Did they just get kidnapped? What just happened? Where is this? I was dragged? Can't losing consciousness.
So begins the third and final arc of the game. Well, of the main story. I'm sorry to have kept you waiting, Master Dialga. While I encountered more difficulty than anticipated, I've succeeded. In the capture, yes. I fully understand what must be done. Those who seek to alter the course of history must be removed from history. I will see to the elimination immediately. I understand. As you wish. I take my leave.
Hey, Casey? Wake up! Where?
Oh god, you're awake.
This place, I think it's a jail. Jail? I woke up not too long ago, so I'm not sure what's going on. I tried opening the doors, but they're locked. There seems to be no other way out. I think that we've been locked up. What's going on? I thought we captured Grovyle and... We might as well investigate.
Investigate all you like. There's not much to investigate.
It's no good. The doors won't open. Sure looks like we've been locked up. How'd we end up like this? I think what happened was... Dusk Noir grabbed us, dragged us into the hole. Wait, is this the future? But that's... I can't believe this. I mean, this is the future? Why are we even here? But... This whole room is built in a way unlike anything I've seen. Now that I've had time to think, maybe this actually is the future. Are we really in the future? What are we supposed to do now? I mean, if this place is the future, how do we get back to the past, our world?
They're awake. How convenient. Alright, we'll do this quick.
Do this quick? Do what? Hey! Let go of me! I can't see!
Come with us.
Don't push! Ow! Blindfold makes it impossible to tell where I'm going. Where are they taking us?
We're here.
Where is this? Have me truced up. I can't move. Why is this happening? Hi. Howdy, neighbor. At least you're here. You're okay, right?
You're clueless about what's going to happen? Guess you can afford to be nonchalant about it. Guess you can be... You're clueless as to what's going to happen? I guess you can afford to be nonchalant about it.
Pardon? Was that... Grovile?
You two. Do you have any inkling about where you are?
No?
This is a stockade. They're preparing to get rid of us for good.
What? Get rid of us? Wait a second. I understand why they want to get rid of you, but why us? We haven't done anything wrong.
I couldn't care less. You must have done something they can't tolerate.
What? We haven't done anything bad. Don't think that we are like you.
I don't care. You're wasting time losing your cool. Meanwhile, look, here they come.
Who are they?
The jailers who do all the dirty work around here. They also happen to be Dusk Noir's underlings. They're called Sableye.
Great Dusk Noir's underlings? What?
Lord Dusk Noir.
They've been tied to the stakes.
Good.
Dusk Noir, sir! It's me, Celiana.
Very well, Sableye. Those three. We need to be rid of them.
What?
Pay them no heed. You may get ready. Remember what I said about Pokemon side games tend to be darker and edgier? Just saying.
Wait a minute, Dusk Noir, sir! What happened to you? Why are you doing this to us?
Don't waste your breath. Instead, shh. Keep your voices down so they can't hear you.
Keep my voice down?
You two. If you want to get away, give me your full cooperation.
What? Help you?
There's no time to think. Or would you prefer to stick around and wait for them to kill you? That includes you. That includes you there too.
Me?
Tell me. What can you do right now?
You asked me that I have nowhere. An item?
No, an item's no good. We're tied up, unable to move. Should be something you could do instantaneously.
Oh, I'm pretty good with my moves.
A move. Well, it could work, but it still takes us a bit of time to prep a move in the first place. It needs to be immediate.
Then we'll just punch them.
That should do.
If it's just a regular attack, I can help too.
Good.
Then we are ready to begin.
Very well. But be vigilant to the end. Don't take your eyes off them. Especially Grovile. Commence. Now.
They're coming.
Listen carefully. Sableye used claws to strike.
Yeah, that sounds scary.
That will be our one avenue to escape. The Sableye will unleash Fury Swipes in a frenzy. That is our chance. If even one of their attacks hits the ropes blinding us.
Oh, right. Then they'll start to come loose.
Exactly. If that happens, lash out within a basic attack. Flee.
But where? And what if they don't hit the ropes? And what if they don't use Fury Swipes at all?
If that happens, don't think. Just do.
Ah!
Endure it! Wait for your chance!
They keep going! They'll take us out before our chance comes! Wait. There's a break in the rope.
Now, attack!
Go!
What is this? There.
Yeah!
We can't see! Compose yourselves. It's only a luminous orb. Its effect wears off momentarily. Blast it. He fled using the flash. They won't get away with this. Come. Refuge in Audacity strikes again.
Ugh, I got dirt in my mouth. We're safe. Battered and bruised, but we're safe. Seems like Grovile can use Dig. Sure knows many moves.
Got out of that scrape. But we're not out of the woods yet. Let's get out of here, and fast. Come on, this way. We need to keep running until we hit the exit. Come on, faster! Pick it up!
I'm running as fast as I can! Don't order me around! Anyway, Grovile.
What?
Is this the future?
That's right. You catch on fast.
Figures. Are we going to be able to get back to our world?
Who knows? We just need to get away for now. If we get caught, returning home will be the least of our worries. Run faster.
I can't. I'm exhausted.
We're almost there. Look, exit's right there.
We did it. We're outside.
Out of the frying pan and into the furnace.
What is this? Is this our world? In the future? Those boulders are floating. This is a really strange place, and it's dark. Not even the wind blows. It's as if all movement, everything stopped.
Exactly.
Pardon? I can hear the Sableye.
We need to keep running.
Say, Grovile, I'm dead tired.
There's no time to rest. If they catch us, we're done. Tough it out and run.
Easy for you to say. I can't. I have to rest.
Fine. This forms a natural alcove. This should shield us from view. After a quick rest, we'll have to get moving again.
Wait a minute. When we escaped from the stockade, we cooperated with you because we had to. But we never promised we'd go with you afterward. A bad Pokemon like you, I can't trust you.
So I'm the bad guy, and that Dusknoir is the good guy? Then how about explaining Dusknoir's actions earlier? It wasn't just me. They wanted you both dead, too.
But that doesn't mean I can trust you.
Earning your trust isn't an easy task, it seems. Thought that having allies would help, but there's no point continuing together without trust. We'll go our separate ways. I'm staying on the move. You two should get moving as soon as possible. Good luck.
Wait a second. You say to leave soon, but it's dark out. It's hard seeing where we're going. Instead of staying on the move, shouldn't we wait for morning? Wouldn't it be better to leave when it gets light out?
Impossible. I hate to say it, but morning never comes.
Pardon?
This world, your future, it's a world of perpetual darkness. The sun never rises, so morning never comes. The darkness persists forever.
Why?
Simple. Planet's been paralyzed.
Paralyzed? The planet's paralysis. Right, I remember! Dusknoir described the planet's paralysis before. Planet's paralysis. It's true that this place appears like Dusknoir described, but even then, it's hard to understand how the planet's been paralyzed in the future.
You're free to believe or reject whatever I tell you. Either way, I suggest you leave here as soon as you can. I'm going. Don't let those Sableye catch you.
Casey, I don't know what to think anymore. Wasn't the planet's paralysis supposed to be caused by the time gears going missing? That's why we all tried to stop Grovyle from stealing them. We did everything we were supposed to do, right? EoSky and the others said they'd return the time gears. That should have prevented the planet's paralysis. But despite our efforts, why is it still paralyzed? I don't know who to or what to believe anymore. Sableye. Well, no matter what I believe, we can't stay here. We need to get ready quickly so we can get going.
So, to everyone who's dropped by so far, thank you so much. I really appreciate the support I get with these streams. Feel free to stick around for extra Fracturia. We're going to be raiding someone. Just need to find someone to raid. But otherwise, tune in next week, Saturdays, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard to noon, for random games. Usually I'm playing whenever I feel like it, but sometimes I do get given a suggestion. Something I am having on the radar at some point, I just need to wait for the update to come out, is for Outfox, so keep an eye out on that, just in case. At that, while I do take suggestions, and I'm pretty open, I'm pretty responsive too. Be careful about what you recommend. For free games, I'm especially quick to look at them, but I'm also very careful about what I do for research. I'm very thorough with my research. Otherwise, tune in Sundays, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard to 10, for dedicated game clearing. Currently, it is Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, and we have been handed quite a twist, haven't we? If at any point you want to support, I'm open to that, but otherwise it's never something that you need to do. At that, if at any point you miss any of these streams, don't worry. They stay up on Twitch for a dedicated amount of time. I believe it's like 2 or 3 weeks. then get ported off to a YouTube channel, Sage Blake. There's a link to it on the Twitch end, but otherwise it shouldn't be too hard to find, especially if you decide to search around for Sonic and Amateur Games Expo after coverage. I do weekly videos to cover the entries of the contest of the prior year. We've been running the contest of 2021's entries currently, and at some point, once 2022 starts up, well, Sage of 2022, rather, because that was announced recently, then we will be covering that when it comes out. At that, the streams get chunked down to dedicated 15 to 45 minutes videos for your viewing pleasure, specifically for that YouTube channel too, sometimes with some extra commentary attached. Additionally, I'm part of several Discords. We even have our own Discord, part of Synapse. If at any point you want to join, there is a link on the Twitch page. Otherwise, you can type in !Discord and get an instant link to that on the Twitch end. Synapse hosts a few different chats and other things. It's also a priority place to go to whenever we do community days. Feel free to tune in. Otherwise, I'm also a part of several other Discords, including Teanos' Flight, as well as Mega G Wolf's Mega G Zone, and a few other Discords for indie games like Shield Cat and Havoc Box. By the way, Shield Cat and Havoc Box, take a look at them. They're pretty good games. Otherwise, final couple items to mention, one of which is I'm working on a card game of my own. I probably plugged it already, but just in case. Reken's Memoria, or Project Remem. It's a free mod for Tabletop Simulator. Think of it like Yu-Gi-Oh! The roguelike. Otherwise, I do have a Twitter in case that's an interest, so feel free to tune into that. And I think that's about it. You know what, considering he's up, let's see about rating Beast Breath. Variety streamer, he does some VR stuffs, pretty fun. He's a funny guy, nice guy too. As for raid message, you know what? Let's do... Waterlogged Raccoon. Feel free to use any emotes you want if you want to use them. Otherwise, you could just use the standard message, but otherwise, we shall be raiding in, let's say, 15 seconds. So, to everyone, thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful night. Stay safe. Stay frosty. Till again. Talakit na.